What is up, guys? Frozen Rack here, and today we're going to be reviewing Fat Nick's new album, Generation Numb. The Florida rapper first gained some buzz in the underground scene off of his 2014 song Drop 'Em Off, which featured Puya and Germ. Since then, he's dropped multiple projects, such as his 2015 mixtape Fat Camp, his debut album When the Lean Runs Out, and a collab mixtape with fellow Florida rapper Puya titled Drop Out of School. Generation Numb will be Fat Nick's biggest release to date, and now let's just get into this track list. The first track on this album is going to be called Swipe Swipe. If you haven't listened to Fat Nick before, just a thing to know about him is that he most commonly favors trap styled beats. His hooks are very simplistic and usually catchy, so you can get behind that, get stuck in your head. And this song is just that. It's some trap style production. It's a standard Fat Nick song, just a quality banger, in my opinion. Which Way is the exact same way. For these more hype banger tracks, I don't have too much to say about them because there's not really any takeaways from them. So I'm just probably gonna say standard Fat Nick song for honestly those ones that aren't very deep at all. Next track's called BFF, and Fat Nick's delivering more of a melodic song, and he talks about girls. I believe the hook was he's saying his best friend's drugs. Um, One of his best friends, I would honestly assume, is his diamonds too. He loves talking about those, but he's making sure the girl knows that he needs her too. The next track is going to be called Wylin. It's another melodic song from Nick, and I personally feel this is a way better than the previous track, BFF. Production on this gives off a good playful vibe, and Nick seems to thrive in that. The next track is called Flooded Pints, and it's featuring a rapper known as OhGeesy. I really like the grimy production by Mikey the Magician on this track. I'd never heard of OhGeesy until I listened to this song, and I honestly thought he didn't really add too much to it. And Fat Nick's hook is just about his drugs and how he's about that life. If it kind of comes across as kind of forced to me, because Fat Nick always reminds me he's just playing an image, in my opinion. The next track is called Bags on Me. It's another Fat Nick banger. He tweeted out a little before his album dropped that this song is dedicated to Russ, who Fat Nick has been beefing with ever since Russ dissed all rappers who are on drugs, and the diss was very poorly timed since it was uh, very close to the tragic passing of Lil Peep, who died of an overdose. Lil Peep was also one of Fat Nick's best friends, so Fat Nick has been sending shots at Russ whenever he gets the chance. And I just didn't see, I couldn't find any of the bars or anything that would go at Russ. I couldn't make a connection with this track, like in a beef sort of way, at least. But it was a good quality banger, in my opinion. The next song is called Mum's Block. This wasn't my favorite song, but Fat Nick just does his usual thing on the track. Next track's called All the Smoke. It's kind of a calm, vibey track, and it's where Fat Nick talks about a relationship he's either currently having or used to have with a girl. Um, Next song after that is called Slow It Down, featuring Bexey. And I was excited to see a track with Bexey since their only other song together, it's called Stay Alive. It has been one of my favorites of all 2018 so far. And I felt that this song was a good solid track where Fat Nick sings mostly over the trap style production and Bexey delivers a fast paced feature near the end of the track. And I thought they both have a lot of good chemistry together and it was a solid track. Next song is called Ice Out featuring Black Bear. This was the second single for this album, and it's Nick's most mainstream featured artist to feature on one of his songs so far. Both Nick and Black Bear use their singy melodic style of rapping to craft a catchy song that is, in my opinion, one of the biggest standouts from this project. Okay, last track on this album is called WTF. I'll just read it as WTF because I'll keep the channel PG for now. But this was the lead single for the album. It's just honestly a normal Fat Nick banger, trap production, and a repetitive hook. This wasn't my favorite track, but it grew on me in time. I was honestly a little concerned going into this review because Fat Nick has been doing some recent image changing to himself, such as portraying himself as a princess on social media, recently, at least. And I was hoping that wouldn't change the style of music he makes, because uh, that's what I got hooked on back in 2015 when I first found out about Fat Nick. And in my opinion, I really enjoyed the project, and I especially favored his more melodic songs rather than the standard trap songs on here. I'm going to give this album a 7 out of 10. The only things I disliked about it were the repetitive lyrics and basic hooks on a lot of the trap songs. I thought that Mikey the Magician killed it with the production on this thing, as he usually does. I also wish that Fat Nick's song with Puya, Hate on Me, from late 2017 had made the album. But other than that, I thought it was a solid effort from Nick. Thanks for tuning in and watching my video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.